are getting better every day. And then when you lay off the drugs, you're going to be even better. Good morning, everyone. Wow. Anyway, this gal shows up at the zoo and says to the one zookeeper that happened to be in the area, is that hippopotamus male or female? And he said to her, I would think that question would only have meaning to another hippopotamus. I've got to come out here, and they tell me I have to kill 3 minutes. So you suffer. You suffer for it. Is there anybody here from another Unity? Anybody here for the first time? Oh, yeah, okay, you're here for keep your hand up, we have a gift for you. Down here, guys. Yeah, we got it. Come on down. There's a gal down here. All right. Right. Valerie is down here. No, this is Valerie. He's a pillar of the community. Oh, you got it? Okay. All right. Anyway, we're entering that Thanksgiving stage, and the more thanks we can give and the more appreciative we can become, the better life is going to go, not only for ourselves, but for everyone in general. So it's great to be involved in the Thanksgiving holiday, and you are going to enjoy this talk being shared by our great minister, Syntysche. Look forward to it.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity. It's nice to see you all here today. Norma and I are going to start with a Native American chant. We feel like we should, honor our Native American ancestry in our lives, and being Thanksgiving week, that it's important to recognize the Mother Earth and how well it was taken care of by the natives. So we're going to sing a song chanting that spirit into our beings today. So let's stand up and you can join us, and I'll invite Norma with us. We haven't done this one in years, I don't think.
Spirit, guide me, Good morning, everyone. What's up? Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Those of us who are joining us here in person, and those of you who are joining us online, welcome to another fun Sunday here at Unity of Boulder. We love spending time with you every week. It is our passion, so thanks for coming out. My name is Mike Shadle. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the administrator here at the church. Just make sure everything here is working and running smoothly, but I also deal with renting of our space. We rent just about every room in this building for any event you might have, birthday, if you want to have a conference, you want to have small classrooms, anything. So if you ever have been looking for a space to rent for an event, please just call the office, ask for Mike, you talk with me. I promise I'll be real nice about it. So we got a few events coming up, or a few things going on here. One of them right now is our choir is up and running, as you will see some of our choir here today. But we're still looking for new members to join our choir, to be a part of our big Christmas holiday show. All you have to do is show up. 6:30 this Thursday. Normal puts you right where you need to be in that choir. You don't have to be a professional singer. You don't have to have any background in singing. We would just love to have you join us and grow this choir, and it's such a fun experience for everyone who joins it. So that's really easy. You don't even have to sign up for it. This Thursday is Thanksgiving. We will be having our annual Thanksgiving Joy Sing service at 10 a.m. right here in the sanctuary. We'll have lots of music and lots of giving thanks in here. It'll be a great time, so come out for that. But it's going to be followed by our annual Thanksgiving community potluck, where you can bring a dish to share, or just come. Even if you don't have a dish to share, please come hang out. If you know someone who's looking for somewhere to go, maybe they don't have anything exciting to do on Thanksgiving, send them here. It's always a great time for community and giving thanks and eating delicious food. But we also do need volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer for that event, please just let Heather in the office know following the service. We need everything from people help set up, take down, cook, everything. So if you're feeling called to help out in that way, please let us know. And the other thing is, we still do need food donations. There's a list out in the lobby for that meal. So if you want to take a look at the list out in the lobby and see if there's anything you have or might be willing to donate to us this week, please let us know. Or just bring it in anytime during the week. We're here Tuesday and Wednesday, half day this week. So that is what is going on. The next thing is tonight we have a rental event tonight. This is not a Unity of Boulder event, but we will be having it tonight. We're going to be having a speaker, Del Bigtree. Some of you might know who that is. Some of you might be familiar with him. Some of you might know him as a very controversial speaker, and that's true. He's going to be speaking about what his research has shown him about the global pandemic that we're all kind of still a little bit going through. But if you're interested in a different explanation of this pandemic, you might find this interesting. It's 5 o'clock tonight. It's a $5 suggested donation, of which Del Bigtree will be donating that to the churches to use the church. But I do have to express this seriously. The views that will be shared tonight are not necessarily the views of Unity of Boulder, its ministry, its staff, Unity Worldwide, or the Groverland family as a whole. So come if you dare, but don't necessarily go, that's the only thing this place is about. So, okay. Thank you very much.
You sounded like you were advertising a pharmaceutical drug and all the things at the bottom, all the side effects. Okay, so good morning. Nice to see you. So I just want to get in the presence of today and let you know that I didn't write a gratitude talk. Considering it's Thanksgiving, you think I would have, but I let Spirit write these sermons, and what comes through is what's meant to be. This Thursday's service will be all about gratitude and blessing others and blessing ourselves, and thanking the universe for the blessings in our lives. So please come to that service, and you'll get that gratitude service tenfold on Thursday. Today's talk is titled, "You Are the Magic This World Seeks." And I wrote it from a state of trying to find how I can pull off all the busyness of life and stay peaceful at the same time, right? That's been the theme of my life this year. Like, how can I move, pivot, and be there for absolutely everything that I want to be there, and hold a space of the divine feminine that I am, and not step into the masculine side of life that us women have been taught to kind of do it that way, because that's what we were told is successful. And so I have this kind of inner warring going on where I am divine feminine in unfoldment. And yet then when I'm in a place of pressure, I fall into the masculine, and I become in that forceful way where I'm trying to pull off more than what one person can handle. And I think all of us are in that now. The expectation, and it's not just female, male, like divine femininity is not about women. It's about a balancing between the yin and the yang. And there's the masculine and the feminine, and they're supposed to be balanced. And there's definitely not a balance when we look at what's going on in this world right now. And I believe that there is a shadowing of one of those energies that's a little stronger, not a little bit, a lot of it stronger. And as a woman in a very busy, successful life, I'm asked to carry CEO levels of demands. And I don't want to live out of alignment of what I am. I want to live within the alignment of what I am. And I'm in that transformation. How do I be that loving mother? How do I light up when they walk in the door when I'm underneath a desk under pressure of writing copy for upcoming sermons, and dogs are crapping in the other room because the kids didn't put them outside, or, I mean, I've got teenagers, they literally do nothing to help me. And if anything, they bring so much more stress to my life, and I'm distracted, so they can get away with it, and then when I catch it, it's 10 deep of like unraveling the things that have happened. I wouldn't change it for the world, but this is it's an interesting phase, let's put it that way. So I found this nice quote that said, "You are the magic this world seeks. Please wake up. One voice can make the difference. Let the denseness of the world activate you to live more freely, more authentically, the way your heart desires, instead of shrinking and losing your way from its continual waves of discord and obscene amounts of bad news." The transformational experience should push you way out of your comfort zone, because you aren't just battling with the climate or the planet or the woes of the world. We're all battling with ourselves and our own inner transformation as all this is unfolding in the world. Transformation happens when you aren't interested in the superficial goings on anymore. We become more interested in the values that lay on the inside of ourselves and others. And you have to have the patience to chip away with your hardened exteriors and really allow yourself to be vulnerable. I feel like I was a lot more vulnerable before this whole pandemic and all this that happened. I built walls to protect over, so it just seems like everywhere you turn, there's something more painful to see in the world. There's something that's more scary. So it's like we're supposed to be evolving into more vulnerability, more authenticity, more kindness, more love, more presence. And yet, I think the opposite's happening. We're in this duality because we don't want to feel, if we're in that vulnerable place, we will feel so deeply the threats of what's going on in the outer world. But that's also then permeating out into our lives with our families, with the ones that matter. I feel like the one place I can be completely vulnerable is with my dog, Gilly. Do you ever notice that? Like somehow just with the pet, because there's no judgment, he's not trying to get up to no good. If he does no good, it's because somebody else didn't take care of him, right? There's just that unconditional love. You can do no wrong in their eyes. The only hope we have for a healed world is your contribution as a healed love warrior going into a spiritual battle for truth to prevail in the hearts and minds of all people. So I think that it is sort of an inner battle, an inner finding what it is that's gotten so off course and so unbalanced, and finding that balance within ourselves. I think that's the only choice we have. And hopefully the ripple and the vibration that comes out from us finding that inner balance will please God, magnify, and touch others, and touch others, and touch others, till it's a healed, collective wholeness. But first we have to realize that we aren't separate and apart from one another. That there is only one God, one source, one spirit, whatever word makes you realize or make you remember your relationship with this greater something that planned on you, brought you in here, gave you the special gifts for unfoldment to realize them here. When we remember that we're directly a part of and the outer expression of that love, everything is a part of that energy. And when we are building walls up against whatever it is we've made up is going on in the world, and I'm a part of that, if we can get rid of those walls and believe in this greater something, that something is in absolute divine order in the disorder, and doing our part, taking our own responsibility for what we are bringing to it. Matt Kahn, who is a spiritual teacher, highly attuned, empathic healer. I love his stuff. I follow him on Facebook. He's beautiful, beautiful, definitely connected with his divine feminine side, right? You can tell it with men. Like my husband is very connected to he's balanced, right? He's very soft, he's very sweet. And then there's ones that you can feel it energetically, and men can feel it from women when they're really hard and they're more male and more forceful and more pushy. It's like, it's an energy, right? This time is about healing to completion. And this time is about finding the entry point into the universal truth. One breath to the next, you are more whole, more complete, and more expanded than any moment before. And the more we learn to experience life from our highest consciousness, and less from our interpretation of our ego, unprocessed pain, we realize every moment of life advances us from one milestone of completion to the next. Today, we are aware that we can heal and we can awaken simultaneously. Today, we are aware that we can heal and we can awaken simultaneously. So we don't have to go in those deep caverns of the trauma and the pain that we all carry from different areas of our lives and heal it to certain levels. We can do both. We can also stay in peace, we can also stay in vulnerability, and we also can heal the inner child. We can also still forgive our friends and family members that have hurt us. We can actually do both at the same time, and I like that, because then I think sometimes we feel like we're wasting our time, like we want to get there though. But it's all of it. It's the healing and it's the moving into these experiences. Emily Cady says it this way, who wrote the book Lessons in Truth, which is a Unity book. She said, "Did you ever put soda into sour milk, cider, or other acid fluid, and witness the agitation or excited action that takes place? One of the substances neutralizes the other, and something better results from the action." And I feel like these last few years have been like that. Super agitating. Super unsettling times for all. And while many of us are softening into the rough, unhealed edges of our wounding to finally escape this unrest within and without, we are discovering more and more of the power of love that lives within us. And as we settle more and more into that, we emerge and emit the light that is so needed for the world. Just sit with that. The more we soften into those edges, instead of pushing ourselves with the masculine energy into those, like, come on, why can't you just get over this? Why can't you stop repeating this affirmation of negativity? Why do you still feel like you're not good enough? Why do you feel like you're not lovable? And we just keep affirming all this negativity, speaking to the limitations of what we are versus the power and the light beings that we are, that we can overcome anything and everything when we are in balance. It's okay to be healing, and it's also okay to be healed too at the same time. So you all know that I always write my sermons from a place of what I'm going through. And last week I hit an especially vulnerable place, but not a good vulnerable place, a place of a depletion that I was starting to reevaluate what I'm doing with my life. And not due to this censor, it was the culmination of all that I'm handling. And I'm at an age now where I don't feel like I have anybody to prove it to anymore. I used to think I had to do that to say, see, I am lovable. I am, because look at all this I can pull off. Look at all this I can pull off. And I lived in a state of heart and anxiety and all these. I don't want to live in that place anymore. I want to choose everything that I'm in my life from an authentic truth and knowing that it's what the divine is calling for my life. So my level of stress was growing and growing. I felt that I was carrying a major part of the load of this church with the holiday seasons coming, which we've been in for over a month, and the preparations. I was feeling a burden that was consuming me. Every which way I was trying to complete anything, and everything wasn't working, or at least wasn't working the way things used to. Remember that? We keep doing that. Well, God, I mean, I did it that way before. It worked. And now all the solutions, all the things we learned up till the pandemic, around that time, and the isolation of that, we knew how to navigate through things. And now it's just like, I feel like I have so many things open and I can't seem to complete anything. Never get that relief that something's completed and now I can move on to something and complete it and move on. It's like, it's all open. And talk about a teacher of surrender. Or the other opposite is anxiety and no sleep. So I was in the no sleep and the anxiety. I was feeling taken for granted by everyone and everything, my teens, my family, I won't name who else, because I was spiraling into a dark abyss of an illusion of loneliness, pressure beyond. I just wanted one thing to get completed so I could file it away, and everything was staying open-ended no matter what I tried. The effort was putting forth was undeniably dangerous for any one person. It felt like I was drowning, and while I was trying to surface for air, I was handed something else to conquer. Does anybody relate with that at this time? Yeah. It wasn't pretty, and I wasn't pretty. Luckily, I was contemplating this inside my car, so nobody really knew where I was at. And then while in this circumstantial depressive state, I was trying to find solace in my husband in a conversation with him. And from his stressed out state, he said words I will never share with anybody, but it actually flattened me. I had nothing left. I'd hit the wall. I was so burnt out. And I had a visualization one morning when I woke up of me leaving in my car and the sunset behind me. And nobody was in the car with me, not even the kids. The dog was. That's not a good place to be, right? So the next morning, I dragged myself into dance clothes and went to one of my sacred places to dance. The instructor acknowledged my presence as I entered, but I wasn't there to socialize. I was there to dance into whatever was going on with me. While I danced, I felt the emotional weight I was carrying, and the words in this moment from the mouth of the instructor was divine femininity, and things like fierce female warrior. I softened in that. That was exactly what I wasn't in this moment. I was operating my life from the left brain, from the masculine, from an energy that I am not naturally. and trying to operate my life during this torrential storm of change from what the world has groomed in women to believe about what gets them ahead and what makes them successful. And I wasn't taught to be like that. My mom always talked about, divine femininity. She taught me the power of divine feminine with her words. But then when she was going through tough times herself when I was a child, she started operating from the masculine, and she showed me how to control, microtask, and do all those things. So what she said and what she did were two different things. And I think that's been, and then who did that to her? Her mother did that. So we want to live in the softness, and we want to be mother. We want to be wife. We want to be business partner. But we want to operate in peace and love and sweetness. But at the pace of this world, it's so hard to feel Mother Earth's heartbeat. And that pace is not of the world. It's not Father Earth, is it? It's Mother Earth's heartbeat. And everybody is supposed to operate from that. But we've lost her. We've lost her within us. This God in the sky, and this someday you're going to go to heaven, you're going to go, who cares about that? Look at how we've treated our mother. And then look at how it's reflecting in how we're treating ourselves. When I left the dance class, all I had was divine feminine, feminine. What does it mean? I know that's what my husband wants. I know that's what my children want. I know that's what my parents want. I know that this ministry wants me that way. And can I operate from that with all of it? I went home and brought out my books on divine femininity and looked online and found a TED Talk by a wonderful speaker named Tiana Temarek. And I want to quote her right now from her talk. And I would highly recommend men and women to watch this talk. I made all my daughters read it. I could make Ty, but Tyler's so connected to feminine, I need to put masculine ones on for him. Okay. Divine femininity are the aspects of the self associated with creation and sensuality, compassion and empathy, collaboration and intuition, as opposed to masculinity, which is a very tangible energy, like, for example, I will pick you up and put you down somewhere safe kind of energy. The sort of energy that you can't help to turn around and say, thank you for. Femininity is much more ephemeral. It will pick you up and carry you just as far. It will be the wind beneath your wings, but you won't really know what's doing the carrying. You will think that you are the one doing the carrying because it's altruistic, it's selfless, it's maternal, and because of this, it often goes unseen, unheard, and unappreciated. How often do we turn around and say, thank you for your femininity? So that explains why I felt exhausted. I need a blank screen right there for just a second. So you've all probably always, heard about the yin and the yang and the masculine and the feminine and those being balanced. You've heard of the left brain as being masculine and you've heard of the right brain being feminine. In every culture and every religion, there is a recognition of the masculine and the feminine as equal, except in the Bible. It's all a masculine God, masculine Jesus. There is a Mary Magdalene, but the whole story turns her into a prostitute. It's really sad, honestly, if you look at how big Christianity is in our culture. And I don't not consider myself a Christian. I see myself as a student of Christ's teachings, right? That I'm really comfortable with because I believe that he was balanced between the masculine and the feminine. He lived from compassion. He lived from that beauty. So The yin and yang symbol, which is an ancient Chinese symbol for the union of opposites, the masculine and feminine energies that are present in all of life. Yin is the feminine life force of receptivity, while yang is the masculine force of action. You can just feel the difference, right? Just feel that in your body. Yin is the feminine life force of receptivity. We can receive, we can grow, we can change. While yang is the masculine force of action. Move out of the way while I try to get and conquer and do. I oversee the fishes and the animals and the everything, and the Bible says you have dominion over everything, so you can destroy all of it, and look at what we've done with the planet. That's what the Christians want you to do. You are the top. And it filters down into disrespect towards our planet, towards our creatures, towards our fishes in the sea. And where has that left us? You can read all about it in the Bible. I believe a big part of the discord of this world right now is about this union, or the lack of union or balance between the masculine and the feminine. The ancients envisioned their world in two halves, masculine and feminine. Their gods and goddesses worked to keep a balance of power. Yin and yang. When male and female were balanced, there was harmony in the world. When they were unbalanced, there was chaos. So who feels like the world is balanced right now? Put your hands up right now. Okay, so we don't have one arm up. Who feels that it's chaos? So you can only imagine how we're all walking around and how we're feeling. So I must not be too far off here on what I'm sharing emotionally with you. Are you relating with what I'm saying? You can say yes or no. So we ask, what is the divine feminine? And keep this up. The divine feminine is not what society's interpretation of being feminine is. It is a force that exists in everyone, male and female. It is a state of being and awareness. Awareness that encompasses life as sacred and honoring your being, loving your body, trusting your intuition. Creating a sacred space are a few ways the divine feminine helps us to balance. The divine feminine has been hidden from most men due to their masculine veil. The divine feminine in you seeks to awaken you at your deepest level of self-understanding so that you may live the fullest life of love. That sounds nice, right? Living the fullest life of love. Everybody benefits when we live from that place. Everybody, down to the cashiers at the grocery stores, down to the person you stop on the street, down to you stopping and putting your stuff down and opening a door for an elderly person or a handicapped person, or seeing beyond your own dictates and demands. Seeing what is being called by the universe as you, as an expression of this love. And watch how your glass fills up with more and more kindness to give to self and other. So let's look at some of the problems in the world and silently answer which one is shadowing the other out. What do you believe we need more of? And let's look at that. I'll use some of the issues going on. Discrimination and racism. Which one do we need more of? Food scarcity, climate change, Mother Earth, environmental degradation, homophobia and transphobia, religion versus spirituality, global unemployment and poverty. I think we see there's some work to do to bring this balance. And I'm a Libra, so my whole world is about finding balance. And when it tips, and it was tipped like this, I didn't want to be here anymore. I mean, I'm not going to do anything dangerous to myself, but I didn't want to be here anymore. Because I chose to be a mother, and I want to be mother in mothering. I chose to be a wife, and I want to be a wife in my wifing. I chose to help people remember this love in their hearts in this church, but then nobody's tithing, and we're $60,000 down in 2 months, and I'm carrying that like I'm responsible to keep these doors open for you. And I'm not. And I'm not carrying it anymore. It's too much pressure. I want it for you, but I can do other things. If this place matters to you, you have to take care of it. I can't do it by myself. That wasn't part of my sermon. I don't know why that just came out. At the end of that dance class, the dance instructor told me, and she's a very good friend of mine, she said, I'm holding a Divine Feminine Circle this Sunday night. I would like you to come. When the words Divine Feminine was coming to me before she was speaking in that dance class, she felt what I was needing to hear, and I went to that circle. And 45 women sat in a room that's small, packed. But the energy and the need of women wanted to be around women, healing. Before the ceremony even started, women were just crying together, just feeling that love, feeling this collective wanting and needing for something else than what we're living in right now. And you men are feeling it too, and I don't want to isolate you. We should be doing this all together. This isn't a woman or a male thing. This is an energetic healing. This is a balancing. In Love Without Conditions, it says, all experience happens for one purpose only, to expand awareness. Any other meaning you see in your life experience is a meaning that you made up. You may not decide at a conscious level what will happen to you, but you most definitely interpret what happens according to your beliefs. Your primary freedom lies in learning from the experiences that come your way. Of course, you can refuse to learn from your experiences, but this choice leads to suffering. If you don't know this yet, it won't be long before you do. So, for me to hit that place inside myself, to step into what I believe might be the most important phase of my life, I had to go there. I don't do things a little bit. My nature has always been all in. So when it's big, it's big. And when it's great, it's grand too. I've experienced all the poles of this experience on earth, and I'd rather grow than to try to avoid what is being birthed in my being, because I know there's only good from what's coming from all this. After all of this, the light turned back on in my heart. I had clarity of what I needed and wanted. My words were clear, and what I'm willing to be, I made boundaries and stuck to them. And the universe started giving me signs so palpable in my face that I could not ignore. I was back. And I was even better than before. And last night, I had two very psychic experiences, but one that really stood out. Before I went to bed, I was talking to Lee, my sister-in-law, and I said, I really have to go to bed early because I don't have my whole sermon, and I need to wake up at 3 a.m. to write the rest of the sermon. And I went to bed at like 7:30 or 8, something like that. And I went to bed, and I was having a hard time going to bed, and at around 1:30, I looked at the clock, and I'm like, oh, good, it's not 3 yet. I was finally sleeping good, and I was cuddling in my bed, and I started to discuss to myself why I didn't have to get up at 3 a.m. and write the rest of the sermon, because I was liking the warm bed. And at 2:50 a.m., my alarm battery went out on my ceiling and started beeping every 5 seconds to wake me up to write the rest of my sermon. And I don't look at anything like that as a coincidence in my life. I know that we all have a direct connection to our spirit guide. Is that my angel? Is that my spirit guide? But this sermon changed so much at 3 in the morning. I had a new perspective on what I had written a week ago. And I felt held. And I tell you guys this all the time. On Saturday night at 3 in the morning, I do this most weeks. I feel this love, these whispers, this sense like I just kind of close my eyes and I let spirit just start. This is the point of your talk, Syntysche. That, dictate kind of a thing, instead of it being from me. And it is from me, but it's from the highest potential me, which is what brought me here, which has made me that key to a peace that's needed in this world. So this is an opportunity to walk through the doorway of embodiment, to end cycles of suffering, and to activate the light and life of your own inner healer. So you can be someone who has been healed, not someone lost in endless cycles of perpetual healing. Doesn't it feel like we've just been in cycles of perpetual healing? It's just this, and it's just coming up, but why can't we just get to that whole state? Not being lost anymore. So I'm starting next Sunday a 4-Sunday series titled Healing to Completion, a process assisting you in awakening all 7 levels of consciousness within you, with each level containing a transmission of presence, a personal story of how each level of consciousness woke up in your reality, clearings and activations. We'll be doing guided visualizations and embodiment practices to activate your full remembrance of spirit and how spirit has always been assisting you and how you can open up more and more so it is audible for you. It is visual for you. It's a gut thing for you. So you only listen to that first, and if you don't get it, you don't move. Divine Feminine is patient. Divine Feminine waits until guided. And then we won't be in these cycles of healing and not healing. That cycle is us in duality. Duality creates quicksand. You're not standing on solid ground. We can overcome everything when we get rid of these cycles of going through trauma and letting trauma be our healer. Let's let the woes of the world not be our teacher anymore. Let's step into the wisdom that we have at the core of who we are to guide and direct our lives. Do I have a minute to go into meditation? I don't know what time it is. Somebody kicked the... Okay, so let's just close our eyes and we're going to go into meditation. So get your feet flat on the floor, and these pews are not the best for your back. It's best to sit up if you can and not let your back be rested on the back. To get yourself in alignment from the bliss of the sky moving through you, clearing out on any impurities in your body and pushing them out your feet and down into Mother Earth. And letting Mother Earth rejuvenate that energy into wholeness, into power, into light. In Matthew 5:8, it said, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall feel spirit." When you are pure in heart, when you're unalterably convinced that there is only one presence and one power, spirit, the good, omnipotent, then you feel spirit everywhere. You see good everywhere. However, you are feeling things not as they are, but as you are. when we soften into this above rewritten passage by myself in the book of Matthew, we awaken to an understanding of God, Spirit, Source, working and unfolding in everything we do, everything we create, everything we feel, and everything we think. So if today you felt something awaken within you, maybe an awareness of a constant busyness or a whirlwind of distractions, or a low-grade anxiety that's been leading you astray, remember you can move back into that softened heart and attract all that is possible for you at this time. Now you are on your way. Flow into this consciousness. This is where you land. This is where you put your focus. Planting the seed for emotional healing and freedom. Finding gratitude for what is already wonderful in your life. And letting the winds of love embrace that and lift you into your higher consciousness, your higher knowing, for drawing more good into your life to be grateful for. Softening, listening, allowing, breathing, feeling, moving gently, blessing everything and everyone. Because you know you are not separate from anything. You are all of it. You are that magical and you are that powerful. Moving into the pace of Mother Earth's heartbeat. And when you do feel separate and apart and cut off from this beauty, it's time to sit quietly until you can regain balance, regain peace, and move within the flow with the universe that is always divinely guiding you when you allow it. And so to this, we say thank you, God, for everything. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Mother Earth. Let's just thank her. Thank you, Mother Earth, for all that you've given us. Thank you. Amen.
Well, we have been opened up again. To hear someone speak so totally and fearlessly from the heart is so awakening for us all. And Syntysche does that in such an amazing way to bring us back to what's truly valuable. And getting in touch with when you see yourself out of sorts, stop, take some time to sit, be still, and let the Spirit guide you to return to peace. If you do that, you'll be helping the planet in such an extraordinary way. There's one other thing I would request that you give some consideration to. We have never had a Thanksgiving meal that wasn't well attended, with plenty of food, turkeys, and people responsible to make it happen and clearing it up. So I'm asking all of you to take a moment as you leave here this afternoon. Take a look at the list of the things we need for that Thanksgiving meal. And you should know that a large number of the people that attend that meal are people that have lost a loved one. They're alone now. People that are away from their families. They're not living with their families are living somewhere else. So, and we also have homeless people showing up, and what you're doing is a great task, a great giving, a beautiful thing. So be sure to donate something to the Thanksgiving meal, and those of you that are going to be attending it, be sure to participate in it. Help out. Serve, set the tables, clear the tables up at the end. Enjoy your Thanksgiving by being part of what Thanksgiving is really all about. And with that in mind, let's bring to mind that financial gift we'd like to make to Unity of Boulder. And let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. Oh, we have.
The message is such an incredible thing in this song. You will get it. So if you all stand and give your energy to what we're going to be singing and saying, to everything.
Feel the light beaming through. It is guiding
Anybody that wants to stay and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth out of the choir, you're welcome to stay up here. All right, so we have prayer partners available to you right now. If you're facing a challenge or you would even like to just have a conversation or share joy, you just stay seated where you're seated, and a prayer partner will come and find you and take you to our beautiful meditation room. About 10 minutes after this service, I hold a circle where you can have a discussion with each other, and I hold the space for that. We can discuss the sermon today if you feel like you'd like to discuss it further. And then we have fellowship right after. We have coffee and food and gathering. So let's build this community. Let's move in with each other and connect. And I also want to say that Sacred Feminine, that Divine Femininity group that I did, I'm bringing them in January, and it's a powerful, powerful work. So I want you all to experience that in January. And then I've got my 4-week talk coming. Oh, and tonight is Del Bigtree at 5 p.m. All right, let's close with our closing. Let there be peace on earth. Let's hold hands if you feel comfortable.
Oh,